All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. And my special guest tonight is my dear brother, the brother that convinced me to go to Africa, that pulled my arm a little bit to make that voyage to Africa, and I've been hooked ever since. Brother Yitshaq Abraham.
Good
Brother,
evening. Good evening. I guess and where you at is evening. Where I'm
hey,
at is
night,
where you
night,
at is night. Where I'm at is evening. So good evening from where
right.
in
And
sunny Southern California.
absolutely. And tonight's topic is, does the conscious community have a struggle fetish? Now, what? Now, me and brother Abraham we were having a conversation last week, and we were just discussing how brothers in the conscious community have all this information, and as Yishak said, 6 trillion years of knowledge. I mean, we came from the Anunnaki. We walked with the Greys. We built the pyramids. We came from different solar systems, built the pyramids, wrote the Quran, wrote the Bible. We taught the Greeks, we taught the Europeans how to use the bathroom and how not to walk on all fours. We did all this stuff. We built Noah's Ark. I mean, we did everything. We have all this knowledge on everything, but our net worth is $6. And so we really need to unpackage, how do we have all this knowledge? And it's to the point now, Yashak, we have a lot of people in the conscious community, they romanticize the struggle fetish.
Yeah.
What, you got $10 bill? Oh, you participate in capitalism? That's the white man's money. What? And then turn around in your shop and ask you for some money for their cell phone bill. Oh, oh, participating in capitalism. You spending money. Oh, you got the dollar. Oh, the dollar is the devil. See, on the dollar is the Freemason sign. It's the Freemasons, the Freemasonry, and the Egyptian hieroglyphs, and it means the devils and the Masons. How dare you spend that? How dare you participate and spend that white man's money? But brother, do you by a chance can you contribute so I could pay for my phone bill? So what's the issue, Yishak? Let's really let's unpackage this, brother.
well, well. First, I want to preface the statement. Because first of all, the conscious community first of all equates that you are awake.
Right.
That's first. So being conscious, you have to be awake, and you have to comprehend that there's more to this thing than what people are saying. So when I equate consciousness, I equate a person who has a comprehension that you are, by way of your daily movements, you are participating in the colonization of people across the world. And I'd say that simply because if you drive a car and you go to the gas station, first of all, before you even go to the gas station, when you went to go buy the car, there's no black African, African American car manufacturers in the United States that we go buy cars from.
Right.
You know, they have some in Nigeria now, and in Ghana they have some folks that's looking at doing car manufacturing. But across the world, when you buy a car, you're buying a car for somebody non-African as well. When you go to the gas station and when you go get gas to put inside of your car, you're going to be purchasing that gas from somebody that does not look like you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's just look at the fact that when you go down to the bare essentials of things that you're going to be doing every single day, you're going to be participating in some shape, form, or fashion and taking your money and spending it with somebody other than yourself.
Right.
Now let's look at our clothing. Let's say some people, I'm conscious. I only wear dashikis. I only wear different types of clothing that are, made by Africans. Well, guess what? The manufacturing of that cloth that is made into the clothing that you wear, that you bought from an African establishment, was not manufactured by Africans.
Right.
They got the cloth from China. They got the cloth from from an Arab. So when people make these statements of saying that, we gotta as a conscious community, we gotta, do, only buy from self, you have to understand that's a real hard, pill to say that you're gonna do, and then afterwards find all of the resources to be able to do that. Like, point in case, most of the businesses that you see are some service business that are manufactured by way of a product that comes from someone else. So even if we do hair and beauty products for the sisters, if we do oils and incense and all these other things, we're getting these products from someone else. So we have to start understanding that it's a bigger thing to be a conscious community, and and take our money and spend it with ourselves. We have to expand ourselves if we want to be able to do that. We have to expand ourselves in a financial market. We have to expand ourselves in commodities. We have to expand ourselves, farmland. We have to expand ourselves in all our electricities and different things of that nature. Everything that we need to have a community, if we want to call ourselves a conscious community, then we have to start providing those things that the community needs. Not just being a real estate agent and selling a house that somebody else manufactured.
Mm. Now, but the thing is, Yitshaq, so what's really the issue? Because I just noticed when it comes with the conscious, so-called conscious community, everything you just mentioned, when it's time to put the money up to invest, no one has to know, or here we go. Well, brother, your social security number is tied to the
Yeah.
Federal Reserve Bank, brother. And so what we need to do is get you a correction status, brother, so you can access this money. And then we can use this money because really, brother, we is indigenous to this land. So all these
Hmm.
farms, all this farmland, that Tyson owns, Tyson Foods and ConAgra. See, brother, what we gonna do? We gonna change our last name to Bay, and then we gonna send a petition to Donald Trump, and we gonna get all this farmland, brother.
And people have been saying that for years.
Yeah, but you have people who still fall for it instead of just saying, "Hey, let's get our money together and
Yeah.
let's put it together and let's build." Why the deflection and the intellectual masturbation instead of dealing with reality?
Because because there's a market for these conversations.
Mm.
There are people who are out there who are listening to this kind of conversation because this is good food for thought. This is good information to make people feel good. Like we were saying before, people have the understanding that we once built pyramids, that we built ancient civilizations, that we built the first waterways, that all of these different things that people are hailing from the past.
Mm-hmm.
But in this day and time, when you start looking at those accomplishments, if you have all of this information, you have an opportunity to tie into this information, then you're supposed to be doing that in this day and time. So now you ask the question, who's doing that now? Who's doing these things right now in today's time? Who's making these, advancements and all of these things today? And when you start looking around, you don't see that many people, doing these things on a scale that you can start saying these people are, making conscious moves, and they're making things happen, and they're creating this opportunity for our people as a whole to be able to advance. So I think the most important thing as a people, what we have to do is first, come to the conclusion that we could be our own worst enemy if we don't address the facts. And the facts are that, we have to be conscious in the things that we need to do. And then B, we have to start, pooling our money together in a strategic way, not, expecting the government to give you anything, but in turn, creating an opportunity for yourself. Because you're in the United States of America, man. You got people that come here from other countries that advance here in the United States, and they wasn't born here. They don't have no ties to the United States, but they come here and they have created an opportunity for themselves. And there's enough of us here that we can do that same creation.
Okay, here's another one, brother. Well, brother, see, You work for the white man. You got on your suit and tie and your
yeah,
Steve, your Aldo dress shoes, brother. See, all that money you getting for the white man, brother.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what you supposed to do and struggle with me?
Yeah, yeah, I done heard that too many times too. You
Yeah,
know, but here's the most important thing that I say. You know, because I go back to what I was saying before. Look look at all of the support that we give to all of these businesses that are run by Caucasians.
right.
And people are saying to themselves, I don't support the white man, but like I just gave you, 5 instances where people are supporting businesses that they're saying to themselves, I'm conscious and I don't support these businesses. But they do, they do. There's no avoiding, because there's a tie-in to every single thing that you have going on right now. But the most important thing is for you to realize that you have to control something. Like if you don't control anything, it's like you say you have a community, but you don't own any of the homes in the community. The
Right.
people that live in the community, they don't have any businesses that really control the finances in the community. People can't circulate their money 3, 4, 5 times like other nationalities in their community because they don't have the outlets to be able to make that happen. So the question is, when are we going to start doing that?
But
Instead of pointing the finger at other communities, when are we going to start doing that in our own community?
you know what's crazy, Yitshaq? And I might be getting a little off topic. Like we'll glorify like a brother, like okay, this so-called conscious community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will go in on a brother like me and you. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Like myself and you, I'm tripping. Um, go in, but then the brothers who were on the streets doing participating activities that we shouldn't, they're pretty much destroying the community.
Yeah,
They cool,
yeah.
you
Well,
know.
they're afraid of them.
Okay, so that's what it is. They're just afraid.
It's not that they cool. They're afraid of them. They're afraid to address the fact that they're destroying the community with illegal activities, and to justify it, they make it no snitching.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to snitch on somebody that's selling drugs to babies, that's pimping young girls, that's doing all of these things that don't have any place in our community. But this is the thing that people say, well, I am a business owner, you know, I'm an entrepreneur because I'm selling drugs in the community. I'm an entrepreneur, you know, I'm a pimp, so I'm an entrepreneur. These are the businesses that people say they have.
Well, everyone, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you guys hit that like button as you enter the chat room. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat room, family. We have brother Yitshaq on. He has a wealth of knowledge. So if you have any questions, please ask. Ask away. Ask away. So Yitshaq, what do we have to do to get people from? I mean, what type of people fall for this struggle fetish? I mean, myself, I fell for it for like maybe a couple months. Then, I
Mhm.
noticed like this is some bullshit. Like, what type of people fall for the struggle fetish? Like, who's
Well,
prime?
people are seeking, yeah,
Mhm.
people who are seeking information and who don't have a clear comprehension of what it is to really build a community. People who don't understand. I mean, look, when you grow up in a neighborhood, you see all the essential things that you need to survive, right? So the question you have to ask yourself is, how many of those essential things for survival are you providing for the community? How many of those essentials? Water.
Mhm.
So we all know we can't live without water. So how many of those essential things are we providing? Are we providing water for ourselves? Are we providing electricity for ourselves? Are we providing waste management? That's a big problem that's going on out in countries like Haiti. It's like, are you providing all of the essentials that you need? Manufacturing. Are you providing, are you providing I'm coming up the 5 to Northern California. I see all of these farms out here. Are you providing fruits, vegetables, meats, things of that nature that people eat inside the community? Are you providing those things? Because if not, you're getting them from somebody else.
Right.
You're getting them from somebody else, and that means you can't control, how they're manufactured. You can't control whether they're genetically modified. I see all of these plants and trees and mangoes that grow out here, and oranges, and dates, cherries, all these other things of that nature. You can't control whether they're genetically modified if you're not manufacturing these things. If you're not growing them on the farms.
Let's see. Brother Cohen Davis says, ask Yitshaq what he invests in Dynast. Do you understand that question, or?
Oh, what am I currently investing in?
And what do you invest in? Okay, yeah. What do you invest in? Yeah. What do you?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm like the banks, Brother Cohen. So when you put your money inside of the bank. Oh, here's another thing. So a lot of people say to themselves, I want to make sure that my investments are not going to places that do not support our issues. Mm-hmm. And I tell people that's a very difficult thing to understand, because the places that we invest in actually invest as well. So the banks invest the tier 1 monies. That means when you put your money inside your savings account, they invest your tier 1 money inside of cash value life insurance. That's where they invest your money. That's why they can give you 0.02% back on your money, while they're getting up to 15% back on your money. So that means they gain 50% on your money. They tell you can't take your money out of the account, because if not, you're going to get a penalty. And then when the end of the year comes, they give you your 0.2% while they keep the rest of the money. So I do what the banks do, and I put my money in the place that the bank puts their money, so that you can get the better return for it, and you don't have to have a loss of your money. It's called cash value life insurance.
And somebody was asking, what are your beliefs in terms of the direction to go moving forward?
That's a broad statement. Like, what are my beliefs in the direction to go? Like, direction for who? For myself, or the direction for our people as a whole?
For our people as a whole. There you go. For people as a whole.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you. What's the name of the person that asked the question?
Hojin K.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, Hojin K. There's the direction as a people has to first start with all of us being on one accord. Mm-hmm. And because we as a people are not on one accord, we're not going to have a direction as a people. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to have a people's direction, because we don't have a unified cause as a people. There's a lot of different things that we hold true to, that we rally for the day. Ferguson, we go outside, we rally. Oakland, the young lady who just got killed up in Oakland last week, horrendous situation. People rally for a couple of days, but then afterwards, people, it's short-lived. So my thing is, until we as a people decide that we have to come together for a cause, then the people that you're talking about, good brother, you're talking about the people that are inside of your household. As a people, we have to take care of the people that think like us, who are like-minded, and then we have to come together under one goal. Like, we have to have a goal for what we want to be able to do as a people. And I would say the most important thing that we have to do as a people is to get some financial awareness. We have to understand, look, at the end of the day, the thing that's gonna be able to help us do anything, have our own land, create our own commerce, we need money to do that. And most people are getting away from the fact that, we need finances to be able to do that. And, people are talking about conscious issues, but they're not talking about funding, our so-called community.
Right. And then what you're going to lead into. In fact, let me ask this question first. Shout out to Nick Morgan. Shout out to Nick Morgan for the super chat. Ask this on another forum, but how do you feel about African Americans joining groups like the police department and fire department in mass? Will that
Uh,
improve communities in any way?
oh, look, of course it would, because if you're in an environment where the only people who are on the police force are people who are stereotyping you, people who are racially profiling you. If that's all you got, then you're going to have a fear when you get pulled over by the police. But if you have a conscious mind frame and you go into an environment where, it's like, but here's the thing that people have to understand. If you're breaking the law, you're going to get arrested, So it's like, but if you're not, and then you have a person who's conscious and they do comprehend that things happen, like traffic tickets. Here's a prime example. People get out of traffic tickets all the time. You know,
Mhm.
the police officer explains to them what took place. They be like, "Hey, look, I was on my way to work, and or on my way from work, I was tired. I didn't realize how fast I was going." And a person has a comprehension for that, and then they, give them a pass. But that's not going to happen if we don't have conscious people in those environments. Same thing with the fire department. We need a lot of conscious brothers and sisters in the fire department too. You know, because what you think they're gonna come out to your house? The first responders is the fire department. They're the first responders. They get on the scene for most accidents and different things of that nature before an ambulance. And the ambulance is just sitting, waiting for events to take place, and the fire department gets there first. So yeah, we need people in all of those communities, good brother.
Now, brother, you're headed to the Bay Area. All
Yeah.
right. Now, the Bay Area is supposed to be liberal paradise, but black people are catching hell in the Bay Area. You have the Nia Wilson situation.
Yeah.
Brothers can't. You got Permit Patty, Barbecue Betty. I read a story about a brother who can't sell lemonade. I mean, you
uh,
got the brother with that got kicked out of the store trying to try on hats. Like, what's really going on, bro? Like, especially in a place like the Bay Area where it's supposed to be again liberal paradise, but black folks are just catching hell right now.
yeah. Well, that just ties right back into not having your own, stores and different things of that nature, so that you don't have to encounter these things. I mean, when you go inside of a store, like the incident where the brothers were inside the Starbucks,
Right.
and they kicked them out of Starbucks. I'm in Starbucks all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I go into Starbucks, I don't go into Starbucks asking nobody for anything.
Right.
I know that it's Starbucks culture to go in and use your computer inside of the Starbucks. Listen, you know how many people I saw walk inside of Starbucks, ask for a glass of water,
Mm-hmm.
and then sit down and sit in the Starbucks for like 4 hours, doing schoolwork, doing whatever it is that they were doing. But they were doing all of these things. They was doing all of this stuff inside of the Starbucks, not spending one dime in the Starbucks. But they go into the store with an entitled mind frame because they know the culture. They know what the whole thing is set up to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I go in the same exact way. I go in like, hey, let me get a glass of water. Then I plug my computer up and I use all their electricity for free. Because I'm not about to drink a $7 cup of coffee. So I
Right.
mean, but it's like we have to, where are the black owned coffee shops? Where's the nationwide push to be able to have these things in our communities, so that we can combat this by having our own things. That's the
Right.
question.
And somebody in the chat room says, and this struggle fetish isn't just limited to the conscious community. I was watching the end of a speech from, I guess, the president of the Urban League, and I swear, man, they've been making the same speeches since the Urban League started. It goes immediately into one day we gonna rise up. We gonna ask
Hmm.
one day. Um, do black people do we just love the abusive relationship we have with America?
Uh, you know, you can't listen. What did Elijah say? Why does why does a black man love the white because he gives them nothing? It's like you have to understand people can't do anything else other than what they know.
Hmm.
You know, they can't do anything else than what they know. And then you know, politicians, you know, that's a whole nother avenue. You know, it's like we we follow along with a person saying to us, um, you have to vote for me, one, because I'm the same nationality that you are.
Right.
And the only way that you're going to be able to get something in the community done is for you to elect me. But then when you see that nothing is done in the community, the question is, why do you vote them back in office again?
Right.
Like, why would you vote the same person back in office that told you they were going to do a series of things and they didn't do any of those things, and then all of a sudden now they, you know, you trust that they're going to do it. Oh, it was just the first 4 years, and that's the reason why I didn't do it. So if you give me 4 more years, I'm going to do it this time.
So now, a friend of mine, O'Shea, he would say because black people don't put their money behind politicians, that's why. But we put our money behind MJ, Michael Jordan's, you know, the
Uh,
Jays, and Phil Knight at Nike. Why do black people choose to put money behind things like that, but not behind politicians where they could actually force these politicians to act in their best interest?
well, you got to understand, it's you know, it's it's what you see as popular, you know, pop culture. So a person thinks, oh, I got the new Jordans on. You know, people are gonna look at me like I'm hip. You know, I'm in the know. I got these Jordans. You know, I'm like everybody else. So they put their money into those kind of things because they want to be seen as, you know, important. It's the same thing like those Yeezys, you know, that people go out and buy these sneakers and, you know, 100, $200 pairs of sneakers, $300 pair of sneakers. And, you know, I mean, they thinking to themselves, I got to, you know, I'm a part of the pop culture by having these sneakers and, you know, calling themselves things like sneakerheads and all this other stuff of that nature
Right.
because they feel that they're, you know, that they're in the know because they have these things and they don't realize, you know, all they are is just, you know, paying for somebody else's production.
Def Rocker says some black people like to be spiritually drunk. Nick Morgan says it's "I'll pay you tomorrow for service today"
Yeah,
mentality.
that's right. That's right. So it's like you want to be able to have all of this stuff done up front and in full, but on your end, you're saying, I'm not going to do anything, you know? And people feel good by going out to rallies and, you know, and everybody feeling like they're together for a cause just for, you know, the feel good. You know, so everybody's together, everybody's rallying, everybody's saying, you know, what we're gonna do in the community. I mean, you just look at stuff like Ferguson. They had a great opportunity to be able to say, okay, we got this national platform where people are looking at us as a community, as a city.
Mhm.
What are we gonna do now? It's like the election cycle is coming up. It's like, okay, now we have to elect some people in office. Nothing happened. You
Right.
know, nothing happened. Nobody made no changes. No people in the community said, okay, now we're gonna start rallying behind somebody so that we can get a new police commissioner and all these other things. You know, because these jobs exist. Like you can put your head in the sand and say, oh, you know, I'm not gonna participate in any of these things, but they're gonna elect somebody. You know, they're gonna elect somebody, and if you don't participate in it, they're gonna elect somebody that you don't want. That's the key. You know, you don't rally. I was talking. It's funny. I was talking to a lady the other day, a Caucasian lady that lives out in Woodland Hills, and she was like, "There's a big park in the middle of Woodland Hills,"
Hmm.
and she was like, "You know," she had so much ownership when she was talking to. She said, "You know, I'm the reason why that they have that park in Woodland Hills." And
Mm.
I was like, "Oh yeah, how's that?" She was like, because I went out and collected the signatures for the park. Then she was like, and you know what else? I'm the reason why they have the concerts in the park in the summertime. And I said, oh yeah? How'd you do that? And she said, I went out and collected signatures, and then we got the politicians to put the concerts in the park. Then she was like, you know, the park is pitch dark at nighttime.
Right.
She was like, I put another petition together and had them put the lights on at night in the park. So that, and I tell you one thing, that's one park we don't see no homeless people inside of the park at all. And you already know, Dinus, living in LA, every park got homeless people in it.
Man, crazy.
Not in that park in Woodland Hills. There ain't no homeless people inside of that park. No encampments, no nothing. So
homeless people can't go past Studio City. Like they won't. If you homeless,
because they ain't letting them get on the bus.
Right.
So here's the thing that I'm looking at. All of these key things that she's talking about. She put the petitions together. She petitioned the politicians to be able to do these things. And the one thing they told her was, get the signatures and we'll do it. How many of us are actually doing that in our community? How many people are doing that in their community so that all the things that they're saying in the community that they want the politicians to do, how many people are collecting the signatures to go out and get it done so that the politicians will do the bidding of the people in the community?
None.
Yeah. And that's why I don't get done. You look at the potholes that people say there's so many potholes in their community, and they're not going to their community leaders, the politicians in the communities, and saying, we want this pothole fixed. They just driving by it, letting their cars get all messed up, driving in the potholes and complaining, instead of taking control of their community. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Whereas if you feel that that's your community, you have to take control of it. You know, you have to take control of the community, and you have to force the politicians to actually start doing something to create what it is that you want in your community.
But some people believe that, you know, the signatures are pointless. You know, it's going to take more than signatures. It's going to take money. You know.
It's going to take money too.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to take money too, because you got to remember as well, there's a lot of people in the community that are donating a lot of money to these politicians, and the politicians do exactly what those people who are donating the money tell them to do. So it takes both of those things. It takes the signatures, and it takes money for everything, because, you know, the politician can't do it without it, because afterwards, if there's no money, guess what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to raise your taxes.
Right.
And I know you don't want that. You know, yeah, because California has one of the biggest taxes ever, because they attach everything to the gas. So the gas out here in California is always 3-4 times higher than any place else in the whole entire country.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. How much is gas out there where you at?
I filled up today. I get I need to fill up a premium. I want to say right now was, I think I paid like maybe $3.10 a gallon for premium.
Okay, that's for premium.
Premium, like top of the 91, 92 or 91, whatever it is. Premium, like premium. Yeah.
So out here, it's like $3.45 for regular.
Oh God.
Not premium.
Wow.
Yeah, $3.45 regular. So you could bust $4 for the premium.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that's showing you got to have some money, because if not, you're not going to be driving around in nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
So I mean, it's just Yitshaq, we complain about the same stuff.
Yeah.
You know, affordable housing. Now that's one thing in Atlanta, and I know in LA, affordable housing.
Yeah.
But the affordable housing is not coming. Like, but the people just, they want to rely on, you know, that the politician is going to give them affordable housing.
Yeah, it isn't coming. It's funny because I was just like going from Southern California to Northern California. You see the advancement. It's like literally $2,000-3,000 for 1-bedroom apartment in Northern
Oh, it's
California.
sick. It's sick.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
They were
So,
saying in San Francisco, like $100,000 is below minimum wage, damn near.
oh
Minimum.
yeah, $100,000 ain't no money in Northern California. No, without a shadow of a doubt.
Well,
Look,
Sacramento, but
oh look, Sacramento, it's the same thing in San Francisco. It's the same thing over in Oakland. So a the average home cost down in Southern California is about $500,000.
Mhm.
A condo, an apartment, you might as well say,
All right.
in San Francisco goes for $500,000. A condo.
Crazy. And
Yeah.
that's a 400 square foot situation of even that.
Yes. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
box in the
Exactly.
sky. A box in the
Yeah.
sky.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So you got to start looking at it where, what would be affordable housing? What would be affordable housing in that situation? If the standard is $500,000, if $3,000 is the going rate for an apartment out there for a studio joint, and you got a family and kids and all these other things of that nature, it's not a situation which ties right back to as a people, we got to start doing something. We got to start creating this financial this ability to be able to manufacture money. We have to be able to create finances, and that's got to be our root. That has to be the root to everything, because at the end of the day, you can't do anything else without having more than your fair share coming in.
So what's the purpose of being conscious, Yitshaq, if you have a struggle fetish? Like, it just defeats the purpose of being conscious. Like, if you're not using consciousness to, become wealthy and have wealth, like how can you be conscious and not want wealth? Like, I don't understand that, Yitshaq.
Yeah, it's called being aware. It's like, that's the first thing. The first thing to being conscious is being aware. And to be aware is to know everything that you need as a community. And the first thing as a community, so we don't go out hunting no more. We're not going out and killing the food that we eat at the end of the night. So now what we're doing is we're going out and manufacturing money with some type of employment or business that we have. And then that is allowing us to be able to take care of our families. So to be conscious is to say, I know I got to do all of these things to be able to create livelihood for myself and my family. And then as a people, as a community, we could talk about creating livelihood for ourselves as a people. But I mean, the most important thing is to realize that you have to control your money. Like, if you don't control your income, the money that you have coming in, then there's not going to be anything that you're going to be able to do for a community. Because if we say as a community, we're going to come together and we're going to buy some land. But if we don't have no money, how are we going to do that? If we're going to buy farmland and start farming, how are we going to do that without any money? How are we going to come together and take care of all of those things without having the finance? The root is money, and that's why people go to religion and say, money is the root of all evil. It's like,
okay.
I'm like, bro, everything you do costs money. Listen, even when you go to the church, to the mosque, to the synagogue, they want money.
Right.
They want money too. So if you don't have no money, they not like, oh yeah, come to the church and come and hang out with us. No, they got a collection plate that they send around quite a few times. Why? Because the church has bills that they have to pay too. So it's all about that. It's all about the Benjamins. That's what that's what Puffy and Biggie said, man. It's all about the Benjamins. It's about money. Yeah. It's about money, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with it.
All right, so shut-in sessions, and you live in Cali, and I think I've personally asked you this question before. Why can't Black folks collectively put their money together and leave California?
Well, I don't see black folks putting their money together collectively anywhere.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's not even just California. It's like collective. You know, just like the brothers asked earlier. It's like, you know, what's the plan for us as a people collectively? What are we? I'm like, we're not collectively doing anything. You know, we're not collectively manufacturing anything. We're not collectively coming together. Like, you know, like the struggle fetish is real because people are not collectively doing anything. They're not collectively putting together a game plan for success at all. So that means nobody, like, there's nothing for anybody to say, I'm going to come together with somebody else on, because nobody's doing it. Nobody's collectively saying, let's do some stuff together. And I'm like, you know, my point to people has always been, let's do some financial stuff together so that we can create the money, and then afterwards we can decide what we want to do with it. But you know what the problem is? People are like, oh, what a person going to do with the money? What is it? You know, I don't, you know, I don't agree with the same. Like all of these things that's stopping people from just simply doing one important thing, which is let's create some capital first, and after we create the capital, then we can decide what we want to do with it as a people.
Mm.
That's the first thing.
Let's see what else we got here in the chat room. Let's see here. Now, when we get into the politics in regards to because again, this struggle fetish isn't limited to the conscious community. When we get to politics, in regards to Republican and Democrat, a lot of people say you're wasting your time voting for either because they'll never address the struggles of Black people. But then you got some people, brother, we gotta vote. We have to. We gotta vote. We gotta vote. You know, what are your thoughts on that, Yitshaq?
You have to purchase politicians too. Mm-hmm. That's it. I mean, you got to purchase a politician too. That's what people of both persuasions, either Republican or Democrat, they purchase politicians. That's what they do. With campaign finances, they purchase politicians' loyalty. And if you want a politician to do something for you and your community, if you want them to create jobs, if you want them to create affordable housing, if you want them to do all of those things, you have to purchase them. Because those politicians are for sale. You know, which a lot of people don't realize, but your local politician is for sale to the highest bidder.
Right.
And if you are not putting people into office that have your best interests, and B, funding those people that you put into office, well, then you're not going to get any affordable housing or anything of that nature. Because let's say the people who are funding them are against affordable housing. Guess what that politician is going to do? They're not going to create any affordable housing. So it's the highest bidder. So it goes back to what I was saying at the very beginning, which is you have to create the finances. And then from when you create the finances, then you have to organize. You have to organize the people, because at the end of the day, the politicians, like the lady that I was telling you about, they want to see the signatures. They want to see the people that you have that agree with you and that want the same exact thing that you want. So as a people, when we talk about stuff that we want in our community, you have to organize other people who want the same exact thing that you want, and they have to put their money where their mouth is. You know, they have to fund what it is that they want, because these politicians are not working for free. You know, they're not. They're not working for free. They're working for your campaign financing.
So, brother, what we'll do, first of all, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button. Okay, make sure you hit that like button. Shout out to Nadup. Nadup, I leave for Nigeria on Sunday, and I got your jollof rice sandwich. I would definitely bring that.
Jollof rice sandwich. Oh my God.
Nice and fresh before I leave Lagos. and I'm gonna pack it, and I'm gonna bring it back here to America, and I'm gonna mail it to you, Nadup. You know I got you, Nadup. You know I got you.
Wow. Wow.
Listen to the brother. That's what your ancestors did. Bitching and moaning is not the solution.
Yep. That's right.
You know, the one day we gonna rise up. You know, that's
Yeah.
not the solution. But so
It's
Yitshaq,
got to be today.
exactly. So Yitshaq, in closing, what do we have to do to change this struggle fetish mindset? And then also too, after you explain that, go ahead and tell people what you do and how they can get in contact with you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So the most important thing that we have to do as a people, as the topic of today is to one realize that, don't stop listening to people who don't have a plan as far as what we're going to do in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop listening to them, because at the end of the day, only people what people are doing is just riling people up to do nothing. The
Mm-hmm.
second thing is the game plan has to be something that's going to be centered around manufacturing money,
Mm-hmm.
creating finances so that we can do whatever the plan is afterwards. Because you could come up with every plan in the world, and I'm telling you, the end of the day, the plan is going to need to be financed. And this is what stops everybody from doing everything. But if we can come together and we can create finances, we can at least be able to fund all the things that we want to be able to do in our community.
Mm.
Myself, I do financial advisory work. I help people manage and save money and create that money. And at the end of the day, I think the most important thing for us as a people to do is to start getting into this money game, because the every other community creates finances. Every other community circulates money inside of their community. Every other community has the ability to be able to garnish enough people together to be able to make something happen. They can find me on every social media source on Yitshaq Abraham. That's Yitshaq Abraham, Instagram, Yitshaq Abraham, on Facebook. And as well, I'm out in Southern California in Torrance. And my number, if anybody wants to contact me, is 478-451-7698. And I definitely have a game plan for you. I have things that you can do today to be able to create those finances that you need to be able to finance the next move for ourselves as a people. So that's us.
All right, brother. Again, Yitshaq, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, make sure you take down Yitshaq's number now. He's dropping jewels. So if you need anything, please reach out to the brother. I know, again, this is the brother that convinced me to go to Africa, and the platform that you guys enjoy wouldn't exist if this brother didn't pull my arm to go to Tanzania. So, and I fell in love with the place. So make sure you guys reach out to this brother. He's a wealth of knowledge. And, you know what, Yitshaq, I hang out with good people. I got a nice base of just good quality brothers and sisters.
Because you're a good person. That's why. So like attracts like. So you're a good person. You're not just trying to milk off of people. You know what I mean? You bring value to people when you're around them. So that just warrants good things to happen. So good people are going to gravitate towards you. You go to different places. Here's the thing that I realized that was so crazy. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't go to Africa because it's dangerous over in Africa." I'll ask you the same question that people ask me. Have you ever had any incident of negativity anytime that you've gone over to Africa?
Worst thing that ever happened to me, Yitshaq, I got hustled out of $2.
$2.
$2.
Yeah, $2. Look, I was on public transportation out in Africa. I was on the bus, and I was going in the opposite direction from where I was supposed to be going.
Right.
And the bus driver stopped the bus, waited for the other bus that was coming in the other direction to go back to where I was supposed to be going, and didn't charge me any extra to get on the other bus. That's never even happened in the United States where I live at.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's never even happened.
Especially in New York, where you from.
Man, look, they would have been like, you on the wrong bus.
Right.
You got to get off the bus. You got to wait for the other bus to come. And then you're going to have to pay to get on the other bus going in the opposite direction, even though you just paid to get on the bus.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't never had no negative incidents that's taken place. So when you, a lot of times when things happen, it's stuff that you bring upon yourself. I mean, your attitude is everything. You know, that's the only thing that you can control is your attitude. You know, so it's like, you know, as a community consciousness, you got to be consciously checking your attitude all the time. You know, because positivity emits positivity, and you're gonna get back positive vibes, positive, you know, experiences from people if you just create a positive hedge around yourself. So it's not surprising to me that is how big your network has gotten, and I'm watching, and I'm extremely proud. You know what I mean? Just knowing that you're a real conscious brother, because you're doing things to elevate the community, you know, by having this forum, having people really check their beliefs and to really start doing something for themselves. So I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate it, Yitshaq. Thank you so much, brother. And yes, Bell Bagay, you are getting a collard green sandwich, and Nadup, you will be getting a yellow rice sandwich. So there we go, Bell. I'll
Ooh.
collard green sandwich on Saturday when I see you. Nadup, when I get back from Nigeria, I will be sending you jollof rice sandwich in the mail.
You gonna have to send me a fish sandwich from out in Nigeria.
Man, listen, now you in LA, bro. They got the best Crenshaw Fish Market.
Oh, listen. You know I'll be down there.
Oh my goodness, man. If y'all live in LA, man, Crenshaw Fish Market. And it's not black owned. I'm sorry, but the fish is so damn good. Hey, I don't know what.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not black owned. I'm sorry.
Don't call me a sellout coon. But the damn fish sandwiches that them Koreans got, God. Crenshaw Fish Market on Crenshaw and damn, what's the cross street? I don't know, but golly, man, that's the best.
Hey,
don't call me a coon. It's Korean owned, but damn it,
listen. If you want some African fish, you go to Veronica's Kitchen on Manchester.
Oh, the Nigerian spot.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable.
Absolutely. But everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Nadup, thank you so much for the super chat again. Guys, make sure you go to search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also go to Africa Personified on those same platforms. Make sure you go to searchforhuru.com, dynasmir.com, Africa Personified of Africa. Make sure you go to amazon.com, search your name, Dynasmir. Please buy a book. But yes, that day, I don't know what them Koreans put in that fish. You can smell the shit from the street. Like when I was rolling down Crenshaw one day, headed to the Walmart that used to be there at the Crenshaw Mall. Yeah. And I promise you, I was at the light and I smelled the fish from outside in my car. I busted a Yui. I went up in there. Sauce. I don't know what they do to that fish, these Koreans. But damn it, I cooned out for a fish sandwich from the Koreans. Call me a coon. I cooned out for a fish sandwich from some Koreans. So I sold out for a fish sandwich. I apologize. Please call me a coon. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
Wait, brother, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you as well, brother.
Until next time, they want you to come back, so we got to have you back on soon, brother.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna continue my drive up to San Francisco.
Okay, be safe.
All right, now.